In a show of defiance, Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei says Israel won't last and Muslim nations must have a common enemy. Tens of thousands attend his rare Friday sermon. Mama Earth parent Honasa consumer falls nearly 5% after a Dubai court upholds its earlier order on attaching its assets in the UAE. Singapore-based Sensex is in talks to buy over $1 billion stake in Haldiram. This may be followed by an IPO by the popular snack company. The cbdt is planning to roll out a cyber forensics policy. This is to combat tax evasion and financial frauds. We get you an NDTV Profit exclusive. Traders pin their hopes on the great Indian festive season with hopes of higher sales in FMCG, consumer durables and electronics segment. And good news for Mumbaikars, your travel from RA to BKC may become faster from tomorrow. Mumbai Metro 3 or Aqua Line is set to be inaugurated by the Prime Minister. Elon Musk's social media platform is handed a fine of over $400,000 by an Australian court. The fine is in relation to child abuse material on the platform. Well, good evening and welcome. You are watching Profit 360 on NDTV Profit and I'm Nupur Talwar Suri. Well, the markets traded in the red as the Nifty slipped below the 25,000 mark for the first time since September 12th. Now, as the benchmarks reached a 3-week low, we have multiple sectors lagging today and Harsh Saitha is joining in with more. Hi, Harsh. Really, sea of red today once again.
Well, decentish crack on the Nifty after we closed 2% lower yesterday, 0.8 odd percent lower today as well. We breached, or rather we went below the 25k mark just for a wee bit before bouncing straight back up. But very, very tight in terms of where we are holding. Let's pull up the Nifty 50 companies and what you'll see is far and few in the green. Just about 10 stocks, 13 stocks in the green, of which 4 to 5 stocks were IT names, the big ones all up there, really holding fort. Let's pull up the contributories and we'll see exactly that. Just participation from Infosys, out of the 69 positive points contributed by all positive contributories, 58 by Infosys. So essentially an IT day. But outside of that, look at some of the losers. The heavyweights really dominating again on a day. ICICI, RIL, HDFC Bank. Let's pull up the Nifty Bank as well. And we'll see that that's where a chunk of the crack currently lies. Really dragging market, 0.6 odd percent lower. And private banks obviously dominating within the Nifty Bank as well in terms of the way in which it's moved. Let's just zoom in and try and look at the advanced decline before we look at broader markets. The advanced decline has been a whipsaw, at least in trade today. So it's been a volatile day of trade to close this week off. It's been a tough week, a volatile day, and nearly 2+1 in favor of the declines, but firmly in favor of the declines, at least at close. There you go. The Nifty mid cap as well as the Nifty small cap largely in line with the Nifty 50. And that's how it all played out, despite the breadth of the market being quite weak. Let's pull up what we've done for the week. And we've seen a 4.5% crack on the Nifty 50. The Nifty Bank seeing a larger crack than that. And some of the stocks were largely auto names within at least the Nifty 50 outside of Nifty Bank. RIL and auto stocks, essentially those were what drove the Nifty 50 lower. 5% down, this is from life highs we're talking about. And Nifty Bank, look at the crack there, 5.6% now lower from life highs. The Nifty mid cap and small cap broader markets less volatile, less of a crack seen there, maybe just about 3.5 odd percent on both the Nifty mid cap and small cap. Why is that so? Let's pull out some key reasons. First is, of course, the escalation on the geopolitical front. There's, of course, been business updates for Q2 which have been disappointed, more disappointing updates than ones which really stood out as a positive. FI outflows have been very strong. 30,000 crore is the last 3-day FI outflow number today awaited. But fourth piece, of course, is demand slowdown concerns with GST growth just at 6%, 40-month low in terms of growth. And that may just start to see some amount of tempered behavior coming in from investors where growth is concerned. So those are the top 4 concerns. But it's been a sharp crack through this week. Going to be a very interesting week, the next one.
Well, thanks for that, Harsh. Now, as the markets were volatile, CEO of Ventus Capital Public Markets, Andrew Holland, spoke about how geopolitical tensions are among one of the main reasons for this market trend.
From a trading viewpoint, obviously, they become, some of those sectors where the inputs are with oil, they become, favored shorts, right? But you're really playing a geopolitical kind of, trade there. And I'm not saying that will go away from us. We'll have to wait and see what Israel does over the next few weeks, next few days, actually. So the weekend is probably important in terms of any development there. But it's really a trade, I think, to do that, because if anything kind of breaks in terms of any kind of ceasefire or anything like that, then the oil price will come tumbling down very quickly.
And oil prices spiked on fears that Israel may launch a full-scale attack on Iran backed by the United States. And Mihika is joining in to discuss what's triggering the spike and the impact ahead.
Oil prices have surged 8% since Monday amid concerns that Israel might target Iranian oil facilities, potentially impacting global supply. Now, Iran currently produces 3.4 million barrels of oil per day, primarily exporting to Asia, and holds 7.6% share in the OPEC plus oil production and 3.2% of global production. Now, the potential impact of Iran's supply does hinge on US involvement and Israel's actions. Now, according to Citi, if Israel targets minor infrastructure, the loss could be 300,000 to 450,000 barrels of oil per day, while attacks on major export points could lead to a loss of 1.5 million barrels of oil per day. Now, this might push Iran to consider closing the Strait of Hormuz, which is a crucial waterway for global oil trade and handles about 20 million barrels of oil daily, with 80% destined for Asian markets like India, China, Japan, and South Korea. Now, while Saudi Arabia and the UAE can divert exports via pipelines, Iraq, Kuwait, Qatar, and Bahrain lack alternative routes as per Citi. Now, although OPEC Plus does plan to gradually bring back its halted oil supply starting December 2024, industry experts do emphasize the importance of securing transport routes. Ultimately, the impact on oil prices will depend on the extent of Israel's actions and any disruptions to Iranian oil supplies, with the current market is now on wait and watch mode amid various worst-case scenarios.
Now, in its latest greed and fear note, Jefferies underscores geopolitics as a critical risk to the market, citing the intensifying Iran-Israel conflict. Harsh is joining the conversation to deep dive into the implications for investors.
Well, Jefferies has come out with its note, greed and fear, and as always, something that stands out is what I'm going to try to highlight. Geopolitics remains the main risk, the key risk for markets, is what Chris Wood seems to suggest. Risk for markets is that Israel attacks Iran in a more direct fashion. Of course, there's been plenty of banter. Whether this happens or not is going to be awaited. But the risk is real, is what Jefferies is highlighting. The Biden administration's call for a ceasefire and yet providing funding to Israel is akin to the tail essentially wagging the dog. And this is what the note in fact is titled as. The larger risk is if Iran closes the Strait of Hormuz or attacks US military facilities in the Gulf. That may really escalate things. Certainly a reason for investors to maintain energy and gold exposure is what they suggest on the investing side of things, as well as cash in their portfolios. So that's something that they are advising. Asia ex-Japan, they are long only thematic portfolio. 49% of that continues to remain invested in India with a 10% exposure to China. And the portfolio primarily is geared to long-term domestic demand story in India. So that's how it's really shaping up, both from a geopolitics perspective as well as from an investment perspective, coming straight from Jefferies.
And the popular brand Mamaearth's parent company, Honasa Consumer Limited, is under fire as the Dubai court upheld its earlier order on attaching the company's assets in the UAE. Now, this comes after an ongoing litigation between Honasa and RSM General Trading. We are now joined by Mahima with more on the judgment.
The litigation between Honasa Consumer and RSM General Trading has been going on since quite some time now. And RSM General Trading filed a lawsuit in Dubai court stating that there is unlawful termination of its distribution by Honasa. Now, because of that, RSM General Trading applied for a precautionary attachment to freeze assets of Honasa, and RSM requested cancellation of trading license of Honasa Consumer in Dubai. But on June 6th, the Dubai court allowed the attachment of Honasa Consumer Limited's assets in UAE. However, they rejected the request to cancel the trading license of Honasa Consumer in Dubai. Followed by that, there was a judgment on 1st of October also. The Dubai court rejected both party grievances against the precautionary order, and the attachment of assets is still upheld. However, the trading license of Honasa Consumer will not be cancelled, is what the order says. So this is the update coming in for Honasa Consumer.
Well, according to a Bloomberg report, Temasek Holdings is in talks to buy a 10 to 15% stake in the popular brand Haldiram Snacks. This transaction, if successful, will value Haldiram at about $11 billion. While no comment has been made by either company, this step may take Haldiram towards a potential IPO listing. And on to an NDTV Profit exclusive. Government sources have said that the CBDT is planning to roll out a cyber forensics policy. Now, Shrimi joins in with details of this new policy.
Yeah, in a first of its kind move, CBDT is all set to roll out its cyber forensic policy in another 60 days. What we are picking up from our sources is that this is to create a comprehensive and integrated data center to combat tax evasion and even cyber frauds, and including the financial frauds, of course. So what we are also picking up from our sources is that on September 26th, the CBDT has written to all Directorate General of Income Tax Department, the top official who deals with the investigative matters of the tax department, and they've been told to set up this data intelligence and analytics lab across the country. Now, how these labs will help and ensure efficiency of tax administration? They are saying that DIAL will make an efficient use of the digital footprints of all the companies and individuals, and in fact all the financial records and emails. They are going to access all those information. DIAL will also be mindful of and try to maintain the integrity and confidentiality, given that the sensitive data of individual and companies are involved here. They are also saying that they are trying to create an ecosystem to have a better forensic labs here, so that they will be admissible in the court of law. In fact, this DIAL will be implemented in a phased manner starting from Delhi itself, and then they will have it integrated with the current Insight portal of Income Tax Department, which currently deals with the external information. But with DIAL, they will have more information, and they will be able to use all those data coming from Ministry of Corporate Affairs, GST, property transaction, and through banking channels in a more efficient way to sort of combat all these frauds happening at this point of time.
Well, moving on to what's expected from the festive sales this year. Well, optimistic about this year's festive season sales. Nilesh Gupta of Vijay Sales and Swavakaran Sen of Senco Gold are both positive about the rise in demand in the electronics and gold categories.
I think this year the festive season is shaping up very well. There are two reasons for my being so optimistic. First is the Shraddh period, which just ended day before yesterday, was not as bad as it used to be. And in fact, this we have been seeing consistently year on year. So it clearly indicates that electronics is no longer a product which people feel it's something which we should not buy during the Shraddh period. It's become a necessity. Secondly, on 2nd October, it was the last Shraddh. And being a bank holiday, we saw a huge surge of consumers who came in the stores to purchase. And that also indicates that the consumer sentiment is good. And yesterday being the first Navaratri was also a very good day. So overall, in a nutshell, it seems this year we will have a very good festive season, better than last year. And let me also impress upon one point that last year too was good. So we expect a 7 to 10% growth over last year, and a 7 to 10% growth over a high base is an excellent growth, an excellent indicator of consumer positivity in buying.
In the last 15-20 days, the industry saw some amount of, I would say that, people waiting for the festive season to start. The Pitri Paksh was there. But considering that, we have Diwali, Dhanteras and the wedding season, I'm assuming that compared to last year, there will be an increase in terms of value of business for everyone, about 10 to 12%, because we have to keep it in mind that the gold prices have moved up considerably compared to last year as well. So yes, there could be impact in volume with the increase in prices, but overall we are expecting a 10 to 12% increase from last year.
Well, as Navaratri marks the start of the festive season, people across the country are out buying new clothes, sweets and decorations. NDTV Profit's Yash Tiwari gets you a ground report from the heart of Mumbai.
Navaratri is all about Goddess Durga, and prayers are incomplete without flowers. The Dadar flower market witnessed brisk sales, and vendors say that sales are higher this time than last year.
ज़्यादा नहीं है, लेकिन फिर भी ठीक है, एवरेज रहेगा, उतना ज़्यादा भी नहीं है। पिछले लॉकडाउन के बाद से तो बिल्कुल उतना ज़्यादा बिजनेस होता नहीं है। ऑलमोस्ट 50% ही बिजनेस होता है फ्रेश फ्लावर का।
But thanks to good monsoon, flower supply is in surplus, which has made the prices drop. But vendors are not too concerned about this.
मार्केट इस बार से मीडियम में, न ऊपर है न नीचे, क्योंकि बीच में बारिश हुआ, इसके कारण अभी नवरात्रि में माल चालू हो गया सबका। मार्केट में माल बहुत है, जो 200-250 रुपए किलो होना चाहिए, 100 रुपए 80 रुपए किलो आज बाजार में।
Dadar's flower sellers are not concerned about the threat from growing e-commerce sector, especially from quick commerce. They say the e-commerce platforms deal in flowers in a very small quantity, while Dadar sellers mainly deal in bulk. New type of hybrid flowers called cut flowers were also seen booming sales. What are Indian festivals without new clothes? In Dadar's garment market, the streets were packed with customers. It is the tradition to wear 9 different colors on 9 days of Navaratri, and shops are selling in tandem with the theme.
नवरात्रि के लिए जो रेगुलर होता है, नवरात्रि के 9 कलर्स की साड़ियाँ होती है, सब लेडीज़ को नवरात्रि के लिए 9 डिफरेंट कलर्स का ये लेना पड़ता है। देवी के लिए साड़ियाँ लेनी पड़ती हैं, देवियों के लिए ऐसे खंड का पीसेस होता है, ब्लाउज पीसेस जो खंड की गड़ी में होता है वो मैचिंग वैसे होता है। और रेडीमेड नववारी साड़ियाँ लोग सब लेडीज़ पहनना चाहती हैं फेस्टिवल्स में, तो हम लोग रेडीमेड नववारी साड़ी भी रेडी टू वेयर साड़ीज रखते हैं।
Customers at the market say they prefer buying from physical stores than buying it online. Inflation looms large over customers, and this festive season, by all data available, is set to be a costlier one.
Situation is different on ground as large crowds are out to buy for the festivities. Despite the rise of e-commerce, retail shopkeepers are optimistic about their sales for the next 9 days. With camera person Vivek Kamre, this is Yash Tiwari for NDTV Profit.
And Apple is all set to launch 4 new stores in India. These new stores are being planned as the company is set to roll out its Made in India iPhone 16. And Rishabh is joining in with more on that. Hi Rishabh, take us through the new stores and where are they going to be located?
Right. We have some happy news coming in for Apple lovers in this country. We have 4 more stores that Apple has told us that are in the pipeline, though there is no fixed timeline for this. We don't know in how many years or months we'll see these, but there will be new stores launched in Pune, Bangalore, as well as additional stores in Delhi, NCR and Mumbai. There are already stores in Delhi, NCR and Mumbai that were opened in 2023. Apart from that, another major announcement coming in from Apple is that it will roll out the Made in India iPhone 16 very, very soon. Those will be available this month. These will be iPhones that have been produced from scratch in India, and those will be available for local customers as well as for exports starting this month. What we're also learning is that Apple did already start iPhone manufacturing in 2017. So this is sort of a doubling down on India versus China. We've seen it constantly move away from China, though the number of stores that it operates, etc., is much, much larger in these other countries. But we are seeing a conscious sort of establishing of base compared to China and Vietnam for Apple.
All right. Thank you very much, Rishabh, for joining us with those details. Well, moving on, BMW has launched the M4 CS in India at a price of 1.89 crore rupees, marking the debut of the BMW CS model in the country. NDTV Profit's Tushar caught up with Vikram Pava, the president of the BMW Group in India, to discuss the latest launch.
I think the idea is coming purely from how the customer is evolving, how the customer is expecting the experience to be. What we have noticed is that people want a little bit more immersive experience, more memorable moments, and less of that compartmentalized kind of an experience, that transactional thing that used to happen in auto retail earlier. So we created basically a concept where we bring the car to your lounge. Right. Okay. So you feel like you're sitting in a lounge and interacting with the car, be it for service, be it for used car, be it for any one of our brands, BMW, Mini or Motorrad. So you get that complete immersive experience and also a phygital experience as well. Because what we're also noticing is people are doing a lot of things online, but then immediately want to switch to a offline mode. So this allows them to be in these two spaces in the similar manner. So driven by a customer, putting the customer at the center of it, and then putting the brand and the product around it.
All right. So essentially a more personalized and more customized experience, so to speak. Do you think that will bring in more customers for you, given the volumes that you have seen so far this year? This kind of strategy helps in bringing more customers?
It's part of the bigger strategy piece that, if you're able to understand your customers and provide them what they want, of course, that's how you have a two-way relationship with your customer and that grows sales. So it is not a one-to-one kind of a relationship. It's a part of a bigger piece of puzzle that are we providing the products that our customers want, which we are. As you can see in the country, we have been changing our product lineup to be more relevant for India, and that's what is giving us the traction. We are changing the formats now. As we said, this is one of the first few formats that have changed in the country. I'm really happy Mumbai is in one of the first few that are actually pioneering that, and also really happy the way we have projected the image of Mumbai on the dealership, right? Okay. All the landmarks of Mumbai. I don't know whether you got a chance to have a look at that, so please make sure you show the viewers about the shot of that image of the Mumbai that it connects with. So that's also there, and also the experiences we provide for our customers. So there are a series of things that you need to do for understanding your customers, and I think we've been doing that pretty well in our view. We've been doing that well because what we can see is that our customers have been giving us the thumbs up by saying, okay, you can have record year after year, right? You're growing at a strong pace. So again, after 9 months also, as we can see, we have grown our car sales by 10%. And in BMW, especially as a brand, if you look at it, where we have this huge product offensive this year, we've grown by 12%. So that shows a very solid growth compared to the rest of the industry. Yeah.
And moving on, Mumbai Metro 3, or the Aqua Line, is set to be inaugurated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on the 5th of October, with Phase 1 operations starting the following day, covering 12.2 kilometers from RA to the Bandra Kurla complex, or BKC. This new line aims to reduce traffic congestion and improve connectivity. Passengers traveling this route will be charged 50 rupees for the ride. The first phase features 10 stations connecting key locations in the western suburbs and providing better access to Mumbai's business hubs. The project marks a significant step towards improving the city's public transportation and reducing traffic pressure on its roads. Well, Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei has vowed that regional resistance movements will continue their fight against Israel. This is his first Friday sermon in nearly 5 years, and tens of thousands of people attended it. This comes after Iran launched a missile strike, which Tehran claims was in retaliation to the assassination of Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah. The escalating conflict between Hezbollah and Israel has left over 1,000 people dead in Lebanon and displaced thousands. Meanwhile, Israel continues to defend its borders, with Israeli Defense Minister warning that those who attack Israel will pay a heavy price. And market veteran Ramesh Tamani wears a cephalogist's hat in an exclusive interview with NDTV Profit. Listen to his take on the US elections and who stands a chance of becoming the next president.
How close is the election? According to polls, if Biden and Trump were running, I think Trump would have handily won. He was almost measuring the drapes to the White House even before the election.
And the winning song and all of that.
Yes, absolutely. But Trump caught him by surprise. Kamala caught him by surprise. She surged the poll. The Democrats came back.
The debate took place.
Yeah, the debate took place in which she did apparently very well. And the public started, the Democratic base, basically, that was going away from Biden, started coming back to her. And of course, money is so important. She's outraising Trump almost 2-1, 3-1 in the last 3 months. So she's doing a great job. Plus, she has support of a lot of celebrities from Oprah to Taylor Swift, so whatever. So it's a very close election. It's come down to basically 7 states in America. Out of 50 states, 7 that count.
And you can, in fact, catch that entire conversation at 9 this evening only on NDTV Profit. Well, that's all we have time for in this edition of Profit 360. But here are some visuals of the 10-day Navaratri festival celebrations that have kicked off. NDTV Profit wishes its viewers a very happy and prosperous festive season. Thanks for watching.